And we are live. Welcome to another session of Building the Bull. This session is brought to you by the Skylabs and Vetter Ecosystem. My name is Ryan, and I'm so glad to be your host today. Go ahead and drop a hi, hello, let everybody know where in the world you're watching from. We do have a worldwide, global community. Our community is created on the backbone and concept of the idea of crowdsourcing, where people work together, where everybody comes to the table with something and everybody benefits as a result. Instead of relying on one person or to do all the work or relying on one person to provide all the information, rather it's a community-driven project where people work together collectively to find different projects and bring up red flags, bring up positive, brings up things like that. And last year alone, 16,000 crypto projects launched. And instead of trying to juggle all that on your own, trying to find and research projects, trying to stay up to date with projects, trying to get the inside information with projects, literally, instead of doing that all by yourself, you can utilize something called the crowdsource model, which is what we do in the Vetter Ecosystem, and be able to learn from other people instead of trying to keep track of all that stuff on your own. But even better, how would you like to get paid to find quality crypto pre-sales? Not only do you have the opportunity to learn from other people, but you actually get paid to contribute in our community. We've paid out over thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency to our community members who add projects to our CrowdX Calendar, and I'll show you how simple it is to do that here in just a moment. Now, like I said a minute ago, this is all about crowdsourcing, and that's what we do in this community. But another thing we do is live sessions just like this, where for the last year, literally for a year, we've recorded over 120 plus live sessions where we support the community navigating the CrowdX Calendar, finding 2x to 100x crypto gems, and like I said, paying out thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency in the process. And these sessions are designed to equip you with the knowledge, resources, and experience to support you in finding great projects. Now, we host 2 live sessions like this every single week. This is a Tuesday. If you're here live with us, welcome. We host another session on Thursday. And I will say, before we get into anything, crypto's risky. No way, shape, or form am I telling you to invest. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research. Before we get into the CrowdX Calendar, let's go ahead and take a look at some projects that recently launched. I'm going to give some shout-outs. Right here, here's a project called Kochi Ken. This is brought to us by Metallaride, which is a great scout in our community. And right here, you may be familiar with the term ATH, all-time high. That's a term that gets thrown around a lot. That's a term that all the companies, projects, they brag and boast about their all-time high. Oh, we did a 10x, we did a 20x. The challenge with that is, how long was it there? How long was price at that 10x, that 20x, that 100x? Was it there for a fraction of a second? Was it there for a minute? Was it there for 10 minutes? And so it's fine to brag and boast about an all-time high, but we all know that price can drop pretty quick. So you can see on the screen here, this project did a 7.3x all-time high. And there it is. You can see this wick. This is a 15-minute chart. So you can see there's a pretty big wick there. So as soon as it peaked up there, 7.3x, it dropped off. And so you see something else here called a VAL, V-A-H-L. That stands for Vetter Audited Highest Low. See, every project that's on our CrowdX Calendar, we audit, we verify the gains, and we've created something called the Vetter Audited Highest Low. And what that is saying is, instead of getting lucky and swapping out the very top, what this is saying, this is a benchmark. One of the many ways that we're innovating in this space, we created a new terminology, a new method for determining gains. And what this is saying is, price was above this line right here for at least an hour within the first 24 hours. And what that tells us now is, let's say that you forgot about the launch. Or maybe you had a problem, claiming your tokens on PinkCell. Or maybe you forgot what wallet you contributed. Or maybe you forgot to add the token to your wallet. Or maybe you're struggling on PancakeSwap and you're wondering what the slippage is and what's tax and how does this work and it's not going through and you're getting errors and you're getting stressed out. What this is saying is, For this project, Coach Ken, within the first 24 hours, you had an hour to swap out between a 7x and a 7.3x. That means that life events could be happening. That means that maybe a meeting ran over, you didn't get out in time. That means that maybe kids are in the background, you're distracted. Maybe your internet went out, you had to run down to, the local coffee shop. Whatever the case, literally, you had plenty of time, adequate and sufficient time to swap out anywhere from a 7x to a 7.3x. That, my friends, is what we call the vendor audited highest low, and that's one of the many ways the vendor ecosystem is changing the game and innovating and making things much more attainable for the masses. Hey, welcome Carl, welcome Luis. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Next project we're going to take a look at is, this is Meta Things. This is brought to us by Hellstrom, another fantastic scout in our community. And you can see right here, all-time high is a 3.3x. 3.3x for the all-time high. And Val, we have a 3.1x. That means within the first 24 hours of launch, right here is minute 0, all the way over here is 24 hours. Within the first 24 hours, all-time high was a 3.3x, Val was a 3.1x, which means you could have swapped out between a 3.1x and a 3.3x. You had over an hour to do so. So congratulations, Metallurite, congratulations, Hellstrom. You guys are fantastic scouts, doing awesome work in this community, and we are so thankful and grateful for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. I want to pull up a project that we talked about last week. Hey, welcome Waylon, welcome Meng. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. We got Pong Heroes. Everybody remember Pong Heroes? We talked about it last week. It was a great discussion. And by the way, we've been having some really good topics the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about AI. We've been talking about bots. We've been talking about some just potential selling pressure, just things to watch for, things to look out for. Okay, and so let me just clear this out real quick. I was playing around with this. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But Pong Heroes was a great call last week. If you haven't watched that, definitely worth checking it out. A lot of good insights happened. A lot of good sharing and collaboration happened within the community for that project. And one of the things that we had noticed as we looked at Pong Heroes, we looked at the website, white paper, we looked at socials and everything like that, just dug in, and it looked like a pretty solid project. But one thing we spotted early on, was they ended up having a buy competition. And you can see right here, they had a buy competition, and these 5 users were 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th for the buy competition. And the reason we caught this was because I saw a buy, 100 BNB buy, come in with 20 seconds before the pre-sale ended. This is a fair launch, so they're basically a no hard cap pre-sale, and they raise until the timer runs out. But with 20 seconds to go, 100 BNB contribution came in. Right away, my radar was up. Like, what is going on? Why would they risk that? Why? What was the point? And then I realized there was a buy competition. And so, we just kind of speculated. We just kind of wondered, hey, what's going to happen at launch? These are some pretty significant buys. 29,000, 14,000, 14,000, 10,000, 7,000, which means that there's others. There's others under 7,300. There's 6,000, there's 5,000, there's 3,000 buys for pre-sale, fair launch contributions. I mean, it's pretty massive. Okay, and the crazy thing is, these 5 wallets alone made up for more than 20% of the total BNB raised. It was absolutely crazy, that these 5 wallets. It's very likely the top 10 wallets could have made up, maybe 30%, maybe even more. Now the problem is, challenges. We don't know who all contributed these mass amounts, and I didn't want to necessarily spend a lot of time going through the data. But that's what we wrapped up the conversation with. We just threw out the idea, hey, there could be some, I don't want to say shenanigans, but think about this. Here's a $30,000 buy contribution, and at launch, they're already going to receive 10% BNB cash back, meaning 30 grand on the line, he's already up 3,000. He's already up 10%. Like, he's already a 10% gain. And based on some of the things that we've seen previously, how some of these some pre-sale contributors sell right away, I wasn't sure what we're going to see. And so managed to get a couple of these BSC scans, managed to get a couple of the transactions so we could track the wallet and see what happened. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got here. So first off, there was a sell, pretty significant, that happened right in the beginning. Okay, so here is literally listing price right here. Okay, right here is listing price, and here's some pretty cool things you can do with Dex Screener. I've been playing around with. I'm not a master at this by any means, but you can click the funnel right here, and this is a filter. So when you click this, you can now filter in buy and sells, buy, sell, add, remove, add, remove. Like there's all these options. Right now it's on all. So I can click sell. Now I just see all the sells that happen. These are all the sell transactions. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And now, if I wanted to do, let's do minimum, $5,000. Now I can see all the large sells that came through. Okay, these are the largest transactions that came through. We have a 5,000, 8,000, and a 19,000. These are the largest transactions that came through. Now, so right here we can see, let's go to this is on the 1 minute, so we can see that the launch happened right here. Whoops, I bumped my microphone, sorry about that. The launch happened right here, and you can see it happened March 3rd at 11:58 a.m. All right? What's his first sell? 11:58 in 16 seconds. The first sell on the chart, this dude sold off 5,800, and right away price goes boop. Okay, like price drops. All right. Now, this was not one of the other holders that we were looking at a minute ago, but I did see that this right here. This is our boy. This was number one. This guy right here. This is number one. He won the pre-sale, the biggest contribution, and now in his defense, when we were looking at this, I thought this was really, really risky, major red flag, because what was going to happen when this dude sold off, and didn't know how that was going to impact the chart. We kind of people talked about the possibility of there being some dips and some opportunities because these people selling off, and I got to give them credit. Kudos to them. Kudos to them. Both of these guys were part of the buy competition, and they did sell later. Okay, they did sell later. And when I say later, I mean this guy was 2 minutes later or whatever. So I mean, not like anything crazy, but like boop. But this guy over here, he held for a period of time. He held all the way until right here. And so, Homeboy put out 100 BNB and ended up walking away with 66 BNB. He got his, 10% gain or whatever. So, like, he lost about 25%, 30%, he counted tax. And so, truth be told, I was actually surprised. I was surprised. I was really expecting to see those big guys dump in here. At launch, 5%, 10%, 50%, 20%. I mean, 20% on 30 grand, that's $6,000. That's a pretty good deal. And he was already up 3 grand, and that's not bad. So again, that was the first time I was ever able to witness something like that, seeing the pre-sale, biggest buy competition, seeing that they were going to be given 10% cash back in BNB at launch. Yeah, that was an interesting experience. And, I really anticipated them dumping much sooner, and they didn't. So, kudos to them. But, that did have a major impact on the chart right here. I mean, yeah. I in a way, I almost feel bad for the guy. I almost feel bad for the guy. Because, like, he had an opportunity to swap out right up here. He had an opportunity up 20+%. He had an opportunity at 5%. He had an opportunity at 10%, at 15%. He had an opportunity at 3%. Once he was clear of the taxes, he had the opportunity to swap out. And, to his credit, we don't know what kind of game he was playing. We don't know the kind of game he was playing. He may have fully believed in this project, 100%. We'll never know what happened. We'll never know what his intentions were. I'm just really surprised that he actually didn't profit off that transaction. Now he may have profited in different ways, and we don't know about insiders and if it's the team that has the money, and we don't know any of that stuff. All we can do is look at what happened. We can look at BSC scan and see what the story is. But beyond that, it is what it is. It is what it is. So this project, and this is actually really painful, really painful. So the projects I showed you just a moment ago. We have guidelines and rules on what the criteria is for a project to be profitable, considered profitable. And so within the first 24 hours, we're looking for at least an hour that's above the pre-sale price, an actual hour. Okay? And more oftentimes than not, I can go to the 5-minute and I can see, if this is if it's a profitable project or not. So what we're looking for is full body closes, full body candles, okay, no wicks, an entire candle close above this pre-sale line. That's what we're looking for. Okay, that's what we count. So right here, nope, that candle doesn't count, that candle doesn't count, that candle doesn't count. Why? There's a wick. There's time underneath. So we're looking for candles that don't cross that line. So we got 45 minutes above the pre-sale price. And so, when it's really close like this, I'll go down to the 1 minute, and I'll count the 1 minute candles to see if we can find 60 candles there, because we're looking for an hour above the pre-sale price. All right, so these candles don't count because they're right in the mix. These three candles count right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, which is going to give us 2 minutes. And then right here, all the way over to here, this one doesn't count because it's in the mix. Those don't count because it's in the mix. 54 plus 2, 56 minutes. This one broke my heart because it was 4 minutes shy of being profitable. But, we get to draw the line somewhere. And the line that we've drawn is 60 minutes above the pre-sale price. And like I said, when they're really close like this, it hurts because I'm the biggest cheerleader for our scouts in the community. When we're auditing, when we're looking at these projects, I'm looking at this, I'm cheering for people, I'm seeing their progress, I'm seeing their gains, I'm seeing their hot streaks. And I want everybody to win, because when our scouts win, the community wins. When the community wins, we all win. And so it's tough for me. It is tough for me when I'm splitting hairs and trying to find the time, and we still don't end up with it. So on the flip side of this, if we did manage to find 60 minutes, this project would only have had a gain of, the all-time high would have been at 24, 25%, but the val that are audited highest low would just be 1%. It'd just break even, really, because every one of these candles took it all, and so literally the gain is insignificant. And for hot streak bonuses, so 1%. For hot streak bonuses, the profitability gets to be 10% or greater. Okay, because the whole idea with hot streak is we're posting profitable projects where people could actually make money on. Okay, so just we're getting to some finer details of how some of these things map out. But if you ever were curious on how some of this stuff is graded and scored, this is how, and this is why things are the way they are. Just the other day, one of our top scouts is super close to getting a 10 streak, and he actually thought he had made it. And one of the projects only had a 3% gain, and it wasn't a 10% gain, and so that project didn't count for his 10. So, but he currently is open 8 in a row. So he is currently 8 in a row, and if anybody has any guesses on who they think that is, go ahead and type it in chat. But one of our top scouts is rocking and rolling, doing his thing, and he's currently at an 8 streak, and I'm rooting for him. We're gradually approaching a year of the hot streak being around, and it would be cool to celebrate the year anniversary with the first scout to get a 10 streak, a bona fide 10 streak. So with that, we're just going to go over here to the Vetter board, and we're going to take a look at some interesting stats. Now, the title of this video is really about the idea and concept of there are major gains to be had when scouting projects. Okay, you may know that when you scout a project, you actually get paid. Okay, you actually get paid Vetter when you scout projects. Okay, so as a yellow, you earn 250 Vetter. As a beige, you earn 750 Vetter. As a green, you earn 1,750 vetter, and as a purple, you earn 2,250 vetter. And as your rank increases, your payouts increase as well. Okay, your payouts increase. And yeah, Luis nailed it. It is Dante Zamundo, king of the jungle. He's currently at 8 streaks, so we all send him some positive vibes, and he's very likely to check the box and be the first person to have a 10 streak, which would be just a phenomenal milestone. So send him some positive vibes out here, and hopefully we can get some stuff going for him. Meng says Pong is really active in Telegram. Wouldn't be surprised if there are future gains, but read it properly first. Rewards and games are often dangerous for the chart. Absolutely. So the thing is about Pong, man, I really like it. I really like the project. I really like the concept. The biggest concerns I have about that was what Meng said. I don't remember, Meng, please correct me if I'm wrong, but did we read that it was actually free to play and people could actually rank up and move up for free? I like that idea as far as bringing people on board. The problem is, the challenge is, what kind of sell pressures that create on the charts. Basically, you just give money away for free, and if there's not a reason to hold a certain number, and if sells don't benefit the chart, So, for example, there's a project called what is it? XUSD, and just the way the contract is written, and guys, I'm not super techie on that side of things. I'm learning, but I'm not super techy on that. But the way their transactions work, every buy, every sell, every wallet to wallet transfer, the way it's coded, it actually moves the chart in a positive direction. And so when you have games that the reward token pays out, it can create selling pressure. And so, I like the idea, but it's like, well, what happens if people just use that as a means of income? You think about it in the early days of Vetter. I mean, over a year ago, probably, we were paying out, what was it? 2,000 Vetter just for one single vote. So when you vote on another project, whether it's profitable or not, paying out 2,000 Vetter. I mean, and you could vote, what was it, 5 times a day, I believe? I mean, it's been a year. It's hard for me to remember. But, people were making 10,000 Vetter a day. And at the time, Vetter price was way different than what it is today. And people were making a lot of money simply by voting. And, they didn't care about the vision. They cared about, I don't want to call it an exploit, but, they didn't care about the vision. And, games can do the same thing if there's not a reason to maintain the fund. So it can be a little risky there. So when you post project to the calendar, you actually get paid Vetter, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, but, right now, this is this is not instant gratification. These gains and profits, the rewards are not going to change your life today. Okay, it's not going to change your life today. But what will make a dramatic impact is the hot streak bonuses. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look. Let's just do some investigative stuff. So this is all available to you to see. First of all, I want to point out right here at the gains and tips section, whenever users get gains and give tips, right here you can see, giving out gain on Crimson Network, gain on Kochiken, Ionic got a 2x on Kochiken, and tipped Metalluride 1,000 Vetter. Pretty cool process. One of the things that you also find, those are the gains that users get. But right here, you can see all the gains, all-time high and vals for every project for the last year. Every single audited project. It said in the beginning that we audit and verify all the projects on the platform. You're going to see winners. You're going to see losers. You're going to see massive gains. Sometimes 5x's, 10x's, 20x's, 100x's, 500x's, whatever the case. It's all here. You're also going to see some that don't have anything, meaning it probably flopped. This one had an all-time high of 14%, but 0 val, meaning it didn't meet our criteria. Some of these are going to have no gain. Like right there, that's 2% gain, a 3% gain. It's okay. It's all part of the mix. We're not hiding anything here. We show and record all the gains here. Every single game we can. So that's always available to you to go check out. If you want to be inspired, change your vibration, that is the place to do it. That is the place to do it, without a doubt. So right here, you can click on Leaderboard, and we have different categories for leaderboards. And right here, we have the top paid scout. These are scouts who've earned Vetter by posting projects on the CrowdX Calendar. Hellstrom's earned over 600,000 Vetter. Metalluride has earned 300,000 Vetter. You see right here, these are the two scouts I talked about earlier. Here's Hellstrom, like I said, fantastic scout in our community. Metalluride, another fantastic scout in our community. So right there combined, since the inception of them posting projects on the calendar, they've earned just under 1 million Vetter. Just under 1 million Vetter combined. Like right over 900,000 Vetter. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, something to think about, something that's absolutely crazy. If you were to add up all of the Vetter that's been paid out, you can see all of this Vetter that's been paid out. If you were to add all that up, you'd end up with right around 4 million Vetter. 4 million Vetter paid out to our top scouts, people contributing in the ecosystem. Okay, so from the launch of Vetter back in October of 21 until December of 22, okay, just a couple months back, 4 million Vetter was paid out to our scouts for posting projects on the calendar. It's pretty cool. But to show you the kind of significance and impact that the hot streak bonuses have, our just the last one, not all of them combined, just the last hot streak bonus by itself paid out 3.2 million in Vetter. All right, so let's look at that. So I want to make sure that I'm making this crystal clear, crystal clear how significant this is. Okay, since the beginning, 4 million Vetter was paid out. Okay, let me make that bigger because that is kind of small. There we go. Since the beginning, 4 million Vetter was paid out. Just in the last hot streak bonus alone, $3.2 million. Just in the last hot streak bonus alone, the one that we paid out right before Christmas, 3.2 million Vetter was paid out to our scouts. That is a substantial reward for the contributors in the ecosystem, people that make the ecosystem run. Our scouts are the backbone. The CrowdX Calendar is the lifeblood of this ecosystem. The CrowdX Calendar is what gets us all over the place, into different communities, networking with different groups, building those relationships, which then ultimately feeds into the entire ecosystem. It is the lifeblood, and our scouts are the absolute backbone. So, hey, congratulations to our scouts. Just first off, congratulations. Number two, thank you. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your hard work and your commitment to the vision. Being a scout, we've talked about this. Being a scout, it takes discipline. It takes vision. It is definitely about the long game. Okay? It's definitely about the long game and not instant gratification. It's about the long game. And we have fantastic scouts, and we're building community of fantastic scouts. And so if you're listening to this right now and you're unsure, you're like, hey, I've thought about scouting. Maybe you have some fears or some anxieties or some hesitations. It's okay. We've all been there before. Maybe you started scouting one time and you stopped for whatever reason. I just invite you, hey, get back on the bus. We're going places. We're headed places. We're going to have opportunities to learn from our top scouts and be able to learn from and take in their perspectives, what they have learned and what they've figured out after posting hundreds of projects, learning their strategies, what they look for, and things like that. Ultimately, the whole purpose of that is to support you in getting in the game, get you your rank going up, and then also put you in a position where you're getting hot streak bonuses. There are massive gains for those who are taking advantage of those and capitalizing on it. And windows of opportunity, they open and close. They don't stay open forever. And so I strongly encourage you get in the game. And like I did a shout out last week to Louise. She is one who's gotten in the game as of late. She was scouting early on and kind of read into some challenges and said, you know what, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna get better at this. And she's been back in the game and she's been rocking and rolling. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're listening right now, now is the time. We're gearing up. We're creating new structures, and now is the time to get in the game and get paid. We talked a couple of weeks ago. Scouting is so much less risky. If you're going to participate in the pre-sale market and you're brand new, scouting is the best way to do it because it gives you opportunity to learn while you earn without the risks associated to crypto. That right there is a game changer, absolute game changer. So with that, again, 4 million Vetter paid out, in about 14 months since the inception of Vetter. Last hot streak bonus alone paid out 3.2 million in Vetter. So awesome rewards are on the table. And if you're ready to get started, go ahead and tag me in Discord, tag me in the CrowdX sections, shoot me a message. Let's get in the game and let's start getting you plugged in. So with that, does anybody have any projects they want to take a look at today? I do have one on the radar. I haven't done a lot of research into it. I just kind of stumbled across it. So today, we'll just kind of be doing a discovery together like we normally do. But I do have a little bit of backstory on the project before we jump into that. So if you do have a project, go ahead and type it in the chat, and we will see if we can get into it. But before we go there, let's go ahead and take a look at at the project that I had in mind. So this project is dynamic. We never talked about this on one of the live sessions. Now this is a project that I've scouted. I usually do not talk about my own projects. The only reason we're doing it today is because of the backstory with this project. Okay, the backstory with this project. So to give you some details, I'm going to quickly just read over some of the things that I saw with this project, and then I'll give you an update on where they are currently. Okay, so positives: utility was ready at launch, solid proof audit. The website was really clean, it was professional looking, multiple AMAs and recordings, and the team is doxed. Okay, now the Telegram numbers, when I first found it, there was 13,000 and it dropped down to 8,000. Now I did notice there was a lot of bots in the Telegram group, and I was not really happy with that. 100% of the Ethereum raised is going to be put into liquidity. Cameron Conrad is co-founder and product designer and face of the project. He speaks similar to that of Jeremy James, which is our dev. I can really appreciate that. The way he speaks is from a place of knowledge and no hype, but it creates trust. Okay, they're planning two forms of revenue, generated from performance-based fees from the yield. Dynamic takes 12% from the daily payouts provided, and Dyna earns goes into the treasury to supplement staking rewards. Dyna transaction fees from the swaps use 100% as a buyback for Dyna. Private sell raised 35,000, 40% received at listing, and received the rest in 6 months. Users can connect directly to their bank with Plaid to deposit funds into Dynamic. I thought that was pretty cool. If you use Coinbase, Plaid is something that you can connect to your bank as well. So that's a legit plugin or app or partnership or whatever. But I thought that was pretty cool. Users can connect directly to their bank account with Plaid to deposit funds into Dynamic. Project has been built from scratch and built from the ground up for the last 6 months. This dude was literally just like working on his project, building things up. Those are the things that really turned me on. I really liked what was going on here. The red flags: Telegram was originally botted with 13,000 members. Like I said, now 8,000 members. A week ago, there was not a lot of engagement, and now it had started to turn around before launch. Twitter has really, really good engagement, and so much so, like I kind of was suspicious. I was kind of suspicious of the engagement. There was discrepancy between the tokenomics that they provide and the link, right here in the Medium. I thought that was interesting. One of the AMA that Cameron was on mentioned no team tokens. However, Medium shows there's 10%. So there was just some discrepancies between those details, and those are some of the things that stood out to me. And so this is what Dynamic was all about. We offer seamless access to DeFi lending markets across multiple blockchain networks. Our world-class middleware splits principal from yield compounds it into a single token DYNA and distributes it once per day. This streamlines the lending experience, improves capital efficiency for depositors, and provides peace of mind with profit maximization. Okay, vaults, swap, pay, stake, refer. The pre-sale will take place on Unicrypt and listing on Uniswap 24 hours post-launch, or the 100 wrapped Ethereum hard cap. So they were trying to raise 100 Ethereum. Okay. Now here's a crazy thing. Here's a plot twist. They pre-sale started on Unicrypt, and they did not fill their pre-sale. they raised like 7 BNB. I'm sorry, 7 Ethereum. So they raised 7% of what their hard cap was. And so that was kind of a rough start for them. And so they canceled the pre-sale and then ended up creating new Telegram from scratch. They literally canceled the pre-sale and said, hey guys, we're going to start a new Telegram group. And they started a new Telegram group. And it was slowly growing. It grew from 0 to I think it was a couple hundred people, and then out of nowhere, there was a tweet or a message that just said, "Hey, here's a countdown. We have our first tweet that's coming out on Twitter, in X amount of time." And the first tweet that they had was them dropping their contract. They ended up doing a stealth launch. They switched over to Binance. They did a stealth launch, and they did pretty good. Let's go ahead and pull up Dex Screener. So when I say they did pretty good, I mean, since I have a lot of lines on my chart, I'm going to go down here to what we said in the audit. So 155x for the Val, 155x for the Val, and 174x for the all-time high in the first 24 hours. The first 7 days, we're looking at 140x. No, that's not right. Sorry. Let me look at this real quick. We'll just go with these numbers because the chart, I got too much stuff going on to know what is legit. Actually, no, I'm good. Hold on a second. Bear with me. Let me take this price and let me close this out. Oh, that was the 30-day. I see. Okay, so I was doing a little bit of advanced stuff. So this is the first day. This is the next day. Let me move this right over here. So within the 7-day time frame, they ended up having that's 21. So we'll go over here and we'll do 21,957 times 0.01 plus 1. 220x. Okay, so all-time high, 220x. And for the Val for that time frame was a 140. Okay, 140x. And then for the 7-day, or the 30-day, the 30-day ATH, 30-day ATH was 523x. Is absolute. Am I reading that right? No, I'm not. Am I reading that right? Hold on a second. 52252 times 0.01 plus 1. Yeah, 523. Okay. I was second guessing myself. So 523x for the all-time high, and then for the 7-day time frame, it was red in here, which was 187x. 187x, meaning 7 days were above that. Now, the only reason price started dropping was because they had an announcement they're going to do a relaunch and a rebrand. They're rebranding, which pulls us to this moment right now. Okay? I say all that to say, there were things about this project that I thought were really impressive. The way the guy held this up, the way he communicated, I thought was pretty impressive. The fact that they failed miserably in their in their pre-sale. Now, this was last year. It was in December. Maybe it was just because it was Christmas time. I don't know. But there were a lot of projects that were failing their pre-sales that time frame. And like I was actually getting a hot streak of failed pre-sales. And this was one of those. And then, they did a stealth launch and absolutely crushed it. And so after, days of just dominating, there started to be talks back, maybe 2 weeks ago about, hey, they're going to rebrand, they're going to do something different. That's where brings us to where we are now. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the rebrand is called Torque. Okay, the rebrand is called Torque, right here. So let's just go ahead and take a look. We'll just jump in and give it a go. All right, torque.fi. Let's see if my internet wants to work. Oh, there we go. All right, the future of money under a single roof, beyond the banks, without borders, where yield is pure, meets Torque thus is fully self-driving, under a single roof, beyond the banks, etc., etc. Okay, so community is their Telegram group. So this is just a simple one-pager. All right, simple one-pager. Check out the docs. All right, Torque enables fully self-driving money. Torque is a crypto wealth management platform that aggregates yield and loans from lending blockchain protocols while enabling one-click borrowing through non-custodial PB locks portfolio-backed lines of credit. Torque utilizes smart contract automation to enable self-driving money. Our vaults as a service model, that's VAAS, helps investors, institutions, and DAOs earn passive income and access crypto loans while retaining full custody. Now, as I'm reading this, it reminds me, I watched, what was it? Oh, it was the other day with CoffeeZilla. Was it, I can't think of the company all of a sudden. The only company I can think of is Celsius, but I don't think it was Celsius. Maybe it was. Let me see if I can find this just real quick. CoffeeZilla. It was Celsius, yeah. So I recently watched the breakdown with CoffeeZilla when he was looking at the Celsius and some of the shenanigans they were up to, and so I don't know if this is the Cameron, the owner of this project. I don't know if that's his drive and ambition to legitimately do something like that and do it the right way. I don't know. I just know that the first iteration of this looked pretty solid, and the results spoke for themselves, and the community really backed it. So here we are. All right, product. Here are the articles in this section. Okay, Boost. Boost is Torque's yield protocol on Stargate. First, Torque auto-compounds your STG earnings into more of your underlying asset. Then it resupplied it to Stargate once per day to save you time and maximize your profit. Okay, let's go back. Borrow. Borrow is Torque's loan product built on Compound. Torque routes deposits to money markets and withdraws your desired amount of USDC to borrow within a single transaction. There are no lockups or limits beyond liquidity and loan-to-value ratio. Repay loans at any time. Let's look at Torque. Here are the article. Okay, details for Torque. Okay, coming soon. Well, that's not helpful. Emissions, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. All right, guides. What is VAS? Intro. Torque provides Vault as a service to investors, institutions, and DAOs. Vault are non-custodial smart contracts which route assets on behalf of users. They also perform important automated functions such as rebalancing. We offer two kinds of vaults. Boost, passive yield that compounds once per day. Borrow, deposits collateral and borrow USDC instantly. Traditional vaults, such as those offered by Yearn or Harvest, solve only one side of the personal saving equation. Torque is unique in that we offer both yield and loans. In general, Torque's role as a next-gen aggregator is to reduce DeFi complexity and enhance the saving experience with seamless automation. Testnet is coming soon. Okay, let's see. Staking, okay. Security. Right. So clearly there's not a lot of stuff. I'm unsure of what the reason was to relaunch. But here we are. So Cameron Conrad, founder design. Here's his LinkedIn. He does have docs videos on Dynamic. There were videos and things like that. But right now, this is just pretty basic. Now, he did spend a lot of time... oh, never mind. I started to say he did spend a lot of time with his... with Medium back for Dynamic. I mean, he was at it for a bit of time. But with this, I mean, he literally started everything from scratch. Again, I find it kind of strange, and it makes me, every time I see that something like this, it makes me kind of cringe, because like it seemed like they were on such a good trajectory, but he pivoted pretty quickly. But yeah, started a brand new Twitter, started a brand new Medium, started a new website, and then yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at Telegram. 237 members. All right. We got 3 pinned messages. So right here, maybe we can check out what happened here with the migration, everything like that. Migration and future. Thank you. Hey all, thanks for your amazing patience over the last few days. We prepared plans and got all items in order. Now let's discuss the future. Dynamics chapter is closed. It was 9 months of dev work, 6 months on testnet, 3 weeks on mainnet, and one avoidable mistake that messed it all up. We've learned our lessons and never expected perfection from engineers and making sure all related smart contracts are audited. With that said, and after discussion with the community, we're confident in a fresh slate. We'll wind down dynamic website, web app. DApp sounds pretty good. When you talk about DApp, DApp sounds pretty good, but WAP doesn't sound great. Web app on March 10th, and provide a list of contracts which are related to any user who may need access. Introducing Torque. This platform puts a focused twist on Dynamics Vault technology. Torque helps investors maximize their exposure to popular assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum according to risk tolerance, and enables one-click borrowing through non-custodial blocks, portfolio-backed lines of credit. We realize the need for personalized DeFi and asset-backed loans in today's financial world. Therefore, Torque builds upon popular and emerging DeFi primitives using smart contract automation to enable self-driving money. Dyna holders will receive priority access to Torque and proportional 3 to 6 month vested distributions to recover the dynamic staking exploit. I guess there was an exploit with the staking. Torque and Torque. What's the difference? Okay, anyway. Torque will launch on Ethereum network. Why Ethereum? It's where most of the money is at. The worst thing about it is high transaction fees, which we can deal with by grouping deposits which are under $500, and other solutions like GSN. It's also possible to expand beyond via Note. Private Cell. Want to join Torque Private Cell? Complete the form. We're only seeking soft commitments at the moment, but we'll open it up during March as we close in on a launchpad and other key partnerships. The Torque deck and white paper will be available shortly. Thank you. We're so excited for the future. So they gave an update there. Let's see what else we can find here. Let's see on their other Twitter. Okay, just crazy. They had this. They had a blue check on Dynamic. I don't necessarily remember when they got that. I don't know if that came as a result of the massive gains they had. But like you can just look at the graphics. You can tell it's not like it was not just a throwing something together pretty quick. It was this dude was hustling for a period of time. Let's see if Dynamic is still up. I think it said March 10th. Let's see if Dynamic is still up. Let's go over here. Let me duplicate. Oops. Dynamic. Let's see if their website's still up. I mean, right now the Torque website's pretty bare bones. I'm just curious to see if Dynamic was still functioning. Here we go. Yeah, they had a handful of blog posts and stuff, just keeping everybody updated on what was going on. Also, 2,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. All right, back to Telegram. All right, that was one pin message. Next one, welcome to members. Step for up to dates. Make sure you're following on Twitter. Working on so much currently. Updates are coming. Find some UI sneak peeks and docs. We should have these docs finished within 72 hours. Have questions, need support, reach out to the team. All right, so not much to work with. It's almost like I guess, like I said, there was some type of like staking exploit, and this is what made them hit the reset button. And yeah, I do find it interesting to do a total rebrand, but I don't know. I've never been in a situation like that before. So right now, the team the group, they're just focused on, as you can tell, based on the pin messages, which that was February 28th. Here we are, a week and a half later, and there's only 3 pin messages. No AMAs. There's none of that stuff. They're just working on things. They're working on getting things up to date. I mean, the website itself is literally a one-pager, which by the way, you guys maybe have heard me talk about this before. There were 2 projects last year, the end of the quarter. I think it was Nano Network and Master Key Finance, maybe. Maybe something else. Anyway, their websites were non-existent. And I thought that was really lazy. And so kudos to this team. At least they have a one-pager that directs people to Telegram and directs people to a work-in-progress white paper. I think that goes a long way. Even though they don't have stuff up and running, they at least have this there for people to see that there's something going on here, which is, like I said, way different. Now looking at what actually happened with Nano Network, there was writing on the wall. Nano Network had their website down 30 days leading into their pre-sale. Their pre-sale failed. They just dragged their feet, and they had the exact opposite launch and experience than what Dynamic had. They ended up doing a stealth launch, and Dynamic's stealth launch went up, and Nano Network stealth launch went down. And I can see a very big difference between how the 2 projects were handled, how the quote-unquote setbacks were handled, how the changes were handled, and things like that. So now I know, why I didn't have necessarily a lot of feedback on, website and things like that. It's because there wasn't there wasn't much to talk about yet. But I did want to bring this one up just because the opportunity is there's time to do research. Because they're still in their development phase of their rebranding. They're getting everything up and running. It sounded like there's a possibility of private sale. Yeah, right here. So the forms are available for the private sale for Torque, and so this is really early. I don't know when they plan on launching. Let's see here. Welcome new members. We're just getting started here, but big things are coming. The launch will be announced soon. So not even talks of when the project's going to launch. So it's super early, but did want to, just because, like I said, for the other reasons, the way Dynamic played out, this is a great opportunity to do your research and watch to see, how this project plays out, moving forward with the rebrand. based on how he handled the quote unquote setbacks, I was pretty impressed with how the team did what they did, and it didn't seem like there was a lot of backlash from the community either. It seemed like they exited pretty solid, and we can go take a look. Let's take a look at Dynamic and let's see if there was backlash. Let's see if there's backlash. Oh, well, the group's closed now, but oh, that's the old one, old Telegram. Let me go back up here. Where's the new Telegram? Right here. Okay, so 1,000 members. So what's crazy about this launch, guys, like, and this is what we've talked about before, the concept of finding stealth launches, it's art in and of itself. But I think, just keeping your eyes and ears open, I think it's, keeping your eyes and ears open is sometimes how you can find some really exceptional projects as a scout. Because this group only has 1,000 members, but like its all-time high was 500x. Like, when was the last time we saw 500x in this market? This may be the largest project I've ever seen. I've been in the space since August of 21, and so I missed some of the heydays of the bull run, but anyway. So hopefully that was. Hopefully this gives you something to research and look into, and you can find the old Telegram group, so you can check it out to see if there's any FUD or anything like that. But like I said, I did not notice any necessarily people necessarily being disappointed, mad, whatever, what have you. But yeah, that's it. So anybody have any questions or any comments? Anything to add to today's conversation? They did have a vote on whether they wanted to go for Arbitrum or Ethereum, and it looks like Ethereum won. I'll just vote and see what happens. Oh, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. 49 and 50%. 49 and 51%. Pretty close. Pretty split right down the middle. Oh, and this Xsurge, this is the stable coin I was talking about. That every transaction impacts price. Going back to what we talked about Pong, if Pong is giving out tokens as rewards, is that going to create sell pressure? I wonder, combining something like this, type of concept. So right here, XUSD, the world's first appreciating stablecoin. The world's first appreciating stablecoin is here, and only Xsurge has it. Buys, transfers, and yes, even sells, raise the price. Completely well-proof. The last person to sell walks out the highest price. Just 0.75% buy tax and 0.25% sell tax. No slippage. Back currently by over 150%. 152% liquidity. Internal price is relative to the backing asset. This contract design makes it so both the dollar value and internal value of the XUSD can only go up. StarTech audit. Also, liquidity pairing with BNB on PancakeSwap that arbitrages the PancakeSwap price to the internal contract price. This means that XUSD generates its own volume, pushing the price higher. This is truly the ultimate means to passive income. Nothing exists like this on the market. The team is 100% transparent and approachable. AMAs, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so when Meg and I were talking about in the beginning, when we were talking about Pong Hero, and how the rewards were could the rewards potentially create selling pressure? Having something like this, a game having something like this in their arsenal could support with that, because then when the transfers happen, at least it's raising the overall price. Now it's fractions. It's like fractions of fractions, but still, something like that could at least over time, those that are holding it could help out. So with that, guys, this may be the first time that we wrapped up 1 minute before the hour. We're really good about going 15 to 20 minutes after. But today, we wrapped that sucker up with 1 minute to spare. So, unless anybody has any questions or anything, I was actually thinking, would love to get your guys' feedback on this. Go ahead and type it in chat. But on Thursday, give it a go. So the idea is to be live here in Discord at the same time as being live on YouTube, but you could actually join in on the conversation audibly. If you think that would be awesome and you'd like to participate in that, go ahead and let me know. If that's something you'd want to give a go and be a part of, I think that would be, I think it'd be a super cool experience. We used to do, those of you who are new, we used to do these sessions on Zoom, and so there was a lot more interaction and a lot more communication audibly, and it was a really cool experience. And whenever we started launching with Skylabs, we were getting a lot of traffic on YouTube, and then also the Zoom qualities were just horrible, and I found that YouTube quality is a little bit better, and also we get a little bit better engagement on YouTube. So anyway, we moved to that, and so now, like I said, looking for ways to create some more engagement. So if you'd be interested in, adding in your 2 cents or, hearing your voice, sharing your voice, I think we could make a great session. So Thursday, we'll go ahead and give that a go. And we'll try it out. So with that, hey, thank you guys for being here. I'll wrap up like I always do. Like my mentor always said, life can be short. So for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, care about you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this awesome community. And thank you so much for your contributions. I will see you next Thursday. But until then, I will see you in Discord. Bye for now.